it was very much for women's reproductive rights. And there wasn't one single community meeting I had that didn't come up. And I told people I was for reproductive rights. So at some point, you make your deals, you can't go back on them. I think keeping promises is important.
And you got to stand your ground.
Yeah. And if I lose over that, I lose.
You got to walk in with your convictions and stick to them.
So I
Not
just
like
want to
legislation.
point out though that you told us something that is key to us in trying to identify the messages that we will put out in our media campaign, which is to identify what the opposition has said and how to differentiate ourselves from what has already been said, both from people who support and people who don't support decriminalizing abortion. So you actually gave us some really good tools to use right away, which is find out what's already been said. And you already said, so that's within what are the facts? And then how do we feel about it? And then what is it we should do about that? So I think that you've really given us the key in how to start our messaging.
I actually
is doing that
I think it's
research.
going to pass in both. You've really lost 8 really conservatives in the Senate, and they're the ones that always back this legislation. So I actually think it's going to pass. The Republicans will hold strong, but we have them 45-25. What are they going to do?
Well, the way we feel about it is there should be reproductive rights that should be honored. That's how we feel. And then what we should do about it is support legislation that secures reproductive rights. I mean, it's not about being negative, it's about being positive, but identifying the issue, saying how you feel about it positively, and then saying what should be done positively.
Sure. But when you talk about when Susan talked about what her opponent had already done, when you went and looked that up, Amalio, you found out all of this negativity. And the reason why you found all the negative factors was so that you could, when that came to you, you already knew how to overcome obstacles. And that's
right.
If we have that research on what those senators said, why they didn't pass the bill, then we will be ready when that comes to us. People have those objections.
And I had it bulleted. So I had like a page and a half of stuff with a date, a citation, where to find it, and I knew where it was, so that I could get to it electronically, and so it's not just getting the list; it's making it usable when you need it, so that you have the statement, the fact, the citation, the date, and then you can pull it up if you need it and use it electronically, because that's how fast it happens.
And it's all going to have to be electronic now. Used to be you could go to the college and, if something was happening, you could get up there, pass out flyers, but that doesn't happen anymore. I'm so lucky I didn't have an opponent, because I don't know how I would have done it. So
So the other thing I wanted to ask about that, sorry, I'm taking up all the time here, but you talked about Debbie being the speaker's hatchet person. And what I wanted to ask you about that is, so do you think that that's still effective and necessary to have someone who is a hatchet person? Because in some ways, if we had a progressive hatchet person, I could see them using their talents.
No. I wasn't saying it with that connotation. I was saying it because every legislature has one. It's just how it's used, who uses it. The speaker or the majority leader, or whoever it is, has somewhere that he or she can use to kill something.
Sure.
And it's just part of the legislative process that
where you're going to go with that is we actually have somebody who has said that she is going to bring up the that she still thinks that the votes were stolen in the presidential election. So that to me seems like a place where you could use a really good hatchet to stop someone from even getting any traction on a bill that like has no weight and really has no place. It's just a time waster, actually.
Well, another thing is that Susan said was you got to have a sense of humor. You can laugh somebody off the stage with that. I
Okay.
mean, like, don't be ridiculous, please. Ha, ha, ha. Be serious, because there isn't anything serious about that kind of statement. It's crazy, and it should be acknowledged as such.
Well, you guys, I'm
Okay,
I'm
we're good.
freezing.
We
I
gotta
gotta
close
go
the door.
because Amalia's making me open the door. He's always too hot, and I'm always too cold. So I'm gonna go to another room where I can warm up.
Well, thank you so much for speaking with us. We really, really appreciate all of your time and your insight and just your willingness to answer our questions. So
Yeah,
thank
well,
you.
and you have our email, so you can contact us.
And we appreciate you guys so much. Really, you are the the bootstraps of the party. You are the grass. You're the guys that make it all work. You need candidates, you need legislators, but you really need activists at the ground level to bring all of these ideas to fruition. So we're very grateful to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Representative Herrera.
Want to help you.
And rest of the group, if you want to stay on for a little bit, we'll kind of have our own discussion around the presentation.